Nobody knows what happened to the Circleville letter writer. In 1994 in Circleville, Ohio, the anonymous letters that had haunted one family for 18 years simply stopped. No goodbye, no signature, no arrest that matched every detail. The person behind them had tracked a school bus route, a marriage, a funeral, and a prison sentence from somewhere close enough to watch, and then vanished from the case entirely. Handwriting analysts, a seized typewriter, fingerprint sweeps, and 2 state investigations turned up nothing. And that is the problem. The first letter arrived in March 1976. It went to Mary Gillespie, a bus driver on Route 25, accusing her of an affair with a school supervisor named Gordon Massey. The details were specific times, places, a level of knowledge that meant the writer had been watching her for weeks, maybe months. More letters followed, some mailed, some left along her route. They named her husband Ron. They named her children. Whoever wrote them lived close enough, or watched close enough, to know Mary's schedule better than most people who knew her personally. That precision, not the accusation itself, is what makes this case different from every other poison pen story. On August 19, 1977, Ron Gillespie found a sign posted along his wife's bus route, referencing the letters directly, taunting whoever read it. He got a gun from a relative's house and drove off to confront whoever put it there. Within the hour, his truck was found wrapped around a tree less than a mile from home. He was dead at the scene. The gun was in his hand, 1 round fired. Police ruled it an accident, reckless driving on a familiar road. But the letters didn't stop. They escalated. They named suspects by name, taunted investigators, and referenced Ron's death with details that hadn't been made public. Someone was still watching, still writing, still untouched. In 1983, deputies traced a booby-trapped gun rigged to fire if Mary opened her mailbox to a device linked to her brother-in-law, Paul Fresher. He was arrested, charged, and eventually convicted for that specific device, though never formally charged with authoring the letters themselves. Investigators searched his home, seized a typewriter, and matched some letter fragments to it. Case closed, most assumed. Motive, opportunity, forensic thread, the theory held together. Paul Fresher went to prison in 1983, and for a while the letters went quiet. Then, while Fresher sat in a cell with no typewriter access and controlled outgoing mail, the letters started again, same tone, same handwriting style, same unnerving knowledge of Mary's daily movements. New letters even referenced things happening inside the prison, details Fresher couldn't have relayed through monitored channels. If he was the writer, the timeline breaks. If he wasn't, someone else had been running the entire operation from the start, willing to let an innocent man serve a decade for a crime tied to letters he may never have written. Fresher always denied authorship. He died in 2012, still denying it, and the case against him as the true letter writer was never conclusively proven. Only the mailbox device carried his fingerprints. Here is the detail that keeps investigators awake. Whoever wrote the Circleville letters had accurate, current information about Mary Gillespie's private life for nearly 2 decades, through her husband's death, her brother-in-law's arrest, his trial, his imprisonment, and his release, without ever being photographed, recorded, definitively matched to a single typewriter still in existence, or placed at a single mailing location twice. Over 1,000 letters were sent. Dozens of people were investigated. Handwriting samples were compared against half the town, and the author was never named, never charged, never confirmed to be the same person the entire time. Whoever it was simply stopped writing, sometime in the mid-1990s, and walked back into a town of 13,000 people without a trace. The case remains officially unsolved. Circleville, Ohio, still holds the letters in evidence, still fields amateur theories, still has a family that never got a name to put to 18 years of surveillance. Paul Fresher's conviction stands only for the mailbox device, not for the words themselves. So who was close enough to know everything for that long and never get caught?